Y'all are on the East Van Dan Shit Show.
Welcome to the East Van Dan Shit Show. Please welcome Taylor, the drummer of Fearbirds.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Didn't know there was a fucking fundraiser here tonight.
And burger buffet.
Burger buffets. Wow. Yeah, I'm actually kind of used to burger buffets because 2 days ago I got out of rehab after
shit.
spending just maybe like a week shy of 6 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
Pretty
work
good.
in mental health and addiction, so.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Maybe you can help me.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe, but
Yeah?
we all struggle with something,
Yeah.
right? So.
So, like, what made you want to get into mental health and addiction?
Well, I mean, I worked for PHS in Vancouver, work at the shelter in Nelson, where I live now. I don't know. I've just always kind of, like helping people any way that I can.
Yeah.
So.
I've noticed I've been getting, going to rehab, just becoming a better person. Notice I've been wanting to do that too, help people more. So I started getting into being a peer support worker.
Yeah.
And just kind of doing this podcast, and that's what brought you to me.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, I actually always preferred working with peers. I used to work at the safe injection site in Vancouver, but not in site. I worked on the mobile version of it called Mapu. So we had like a kitted out sprinter, and the peers were always the best folks to work with, because they're just, I don't know. And anyway, you treat people like anyone else. I don't like when you get folks who kind of have like a savior complex, feel like they're gonna save someone. You just like treat people the way they.
Yeah.
We're all just people, man.
Yeah, man.
And that I find made way more of, you end up connecting with people way more than if you're just like, how can I help you? If you're just like, hey, what's up? What's your name? Where are you from? People just like relate to you more. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you were saying this is your first time in Nanaimo.
Yep.
You're asking about the venue. We're in the Queen's, the basement. Is this green room?
I'm assuming this is the green room.
Yeah.
Where shit's gonna get wild later.
Have I drank down here before? No, I've done a podcast down. I think the bands that were playing that night, they were all drinking heavily and maybe using other substances. But I was actually a good boy, surprisingly.
Nice. I don't drink anymore either. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably.
So are you in recovery?
Nope.
Oh.
I just don't drink.
Oh, okay, good.
Yep. Long history of concussions.
Ooh.
So
okay.
Use other things, but not booze.
Okay.
It's the one thing I can't use.
So the band, you guys are from Vancouver, my former stomping ground.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys come together?
Me and Kevin used to play in a band called Barnburner. And when I moved out to Vancouver from Montreal, where Barnburner was originally from, he had always said that we would start jamming again. And I kept pestering him. It was during COVID. Kept pestering him, like, hey man, I live here now, like, let's jam. And COVID was just such a weird time. We just weren't like able to jam. And then I actually filled in for his other band, Dead Quiet. I filled in on drums for one show at the Rickshaw. And me and him have always just had like a really symbiotic writing, like music career kind of thing. And then we just started jamming. He's like, hey, I've got all these songs. And me and him just kind of started the project. And here we are.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys played Victoria last night?
Yeah, at Lucky Bar.
Okay. So how does that work? Because didn't you guys come over from Vancouver today?
No.
No, okay, you drove down here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you guys tour the island often, or
we played the Wheelies 10-year anniversary a couple 2 months ago, I think. But we've played Victoria quite a few times.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
You guys, was it this year or last year? You guys released, was it
Oxblood?
Yes.
Yes, that came out February of this year. It was. I feel like it was recorded 2 years ago though.
Yeah.
But it finally came out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it took the process was like 2 years in the making, or
Pretty much. It was just took a while for we had recorded it. We were trying to find a label, and finally, it's a conjunction of us and Bad Skull Records put it out. And yeah, it's finally out. And
Bad Skull Record, Bad Skull Records,
Bat Skull.
Bat Skull.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the dudes for the Cancer Bats.
Oh,
It's
sweet.
their label. Yeah.
Is that what's it? Who is he? From the Cancer Bats. Who is he?
Liam and
Liam
Mikey.
Cormier.
Yeah.
Cormier or
Yeah,
Cormier?
Cormier.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I may have seen them with like Rise Against in Victoria. Like
Yeah, well,
fucking
their
10
other
years.
band, Bad Sabbath, is.
Oh yeah, Bat Sabbath. Yeah. I think I reached out to them to do the podcast. They didn't want to have anything to do with me.
Oh shit.
That's all right. Hey, you win some, you lose some.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly. So like what like are you from Vancouver originally? Or?
Nope, I'm originally from Montreal.
Okay.
I'm actually moving back there end of October.
Ooh.
But yeah, I would just I don't know. COVID fucked everything up, and I ended up out west for a bit.
Yeah, it sure fucked up a lot of
Yeah.
things. Chop it up with you on that.
Yep.
So what made you start want to get into music?
Me
How?
personally,
Yeah.
it's just kind of in my blood, I guess. My father's a professional guitar player.
Okay. So it runs in the fam.
Yeah, I have a lot of I have 3 other cousins that play drums because I'm the drummer. Yeah, I'm from a pretty large French Canadian family. And all my aunts and uncles or uncles, my grandfather played accordion, fiddle players, dad's guitar player. So just kind of apparently from when I was a little kid, 3 years old, I would just walk up to a drum kit and try and play it, whereas most kids just smash it. And, I don't know. I've been playing ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah. Was was punk and metal your first love, or?
Yeah, I guess I kind of one of my older cousins, Ron, who's a crazy death metal drummer. When I was a teenager, I had a family function. He gave me a mixtape. One side was Candiria, and the other side was drum and bass. And he was just if you can play this, if you can play the drum and bass side, you'll be able to play the other side. So I would just put it in my headphones and try and play, and he would show me stuff. So my older cousins would kind of show me, they were into punk and metal and stuff like that. They would slip things into me, into what I would listen to, and that's kind of how I just slowly got into stuff on my own, and then
Yeah, sweet. Montreal. So growing up there, what was the music scene like?
I mean, Montreal is probably the best city in Canada, I would say, and big music scene. Yeah, I started going to shows when I was a teenager, and would just, I don't know, back then you would just go to a record store and look at the posters on the wall, and just randomly buy tickets for whatever was coming to town. And there was a venue there called Lex with a record store on top of it. So we'd go downtown during the day and go to all the record stores and stuff, and then just go to whatever show was there that night. And I don't know, you just see so many different bands and come through, and it would really find out about all sorts of different stuff. And yeah, it was just there was a show every night happening. So
yeah,
really
the reason
fun.
why I asked that is because well, first off, I've never been to Montreal,
Yep.
so I kind of want to know. And second, I was talking to someone, I forget who to be exact, but it was in the early 80s, in Vancouver, every night you could go to a show on one side of the street. You could go, Barney Bentel would be playing, and then on the other side of the street at the Roxy or wherever, DOA would be playing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of well, that doesn't really, I mean, there's still to some degree that, but I feel as if, I don't know, it's died off.
Well,
in some sort of way.
definitely if you mean there's a lot of venues on the same kind of strip that there's all sorts of different stuff happening. Yeah, I guess what would the word be? Kind of sectors of where there's a lot of venues and a lot of different things happening on the same night in places are not as much anymore. But Montreal still does have that a lot. Very very various things going on. They actually have like it's called Quartier des Spectacles, and it's like just a bunch of venues kind of all in the same area.
What's it called?
Quartier des Spectacles.
Okay.
So it means like the show quarter.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where they have like the Montreal Jazz Festival. And,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, which brings us back to COVID. I think like a lot of like these smaller like venues got fucking wiped out during that time.
Yeah, my buddy Sergio runs a venue in Montreal called Turbo House. Barnburner used to tour with his old band Trigger Effect, who I grew up with those guys. And he runs a venue not very far from there. And yeah, he managed to float through COVID due to he kind of pivoted and did a lot of merch, but like for the venue, and he was able to make it through. But yeah, like a lot of venues did have a really hard time and kind of closed, especially like a lot of DIY spaces too. Like if you weren't able to have events, like how are you going to pay your rent, right?
Is the Black Lab
In Vancouver?
Yeah. Is that still open?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Might be thinking of another one. It would be like off of
Redgate?
No. It would be off of East Georgia. I lived there for a time being. Fuck, what's it called?
Alf House?
Maybe. It kind of looks like
Alf House is a house. Like
okay.
There's a punk house.
No.
East Georgia, but like where and what cross street?
Pender, maybe?
They run parallel.
Okay.
Talking to an old bike courier here, so I'm gonna grind your gears about the the city blocks.
Sorry, man. It's been a long year, okay? But no, yeah, there's this fucking club at the corner where I'm trying to describe. And yeah, it would be packed fucking like pretty much every night. Because I would walk from there to an NA meeting. And by the way, those are wild there in Vancouver.
Yeah, I could only imagine. I've been to a few, so
they're quite tame. They're like here's quite tamed compared to there. Yeah, and I was like actively using then just booze. Actually, February 2nd will mark 2 years drug and sex free.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Congrats. In June, I was 7 years. It's been 7 years, across 7 years, booze free. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment. Yeah. Huh.
Memory is a lot better for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just waking up and you feel good.
Exactly.
You don't feel like a bag of shit.
Nope. I don't remember what a hangover feels like.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So I have no sympathy when people are like, I feel like crap. I'm like, I don't remember. What if and it's a good not remembering what that feels like. For once, not remembering something feels good. As opposed to when you would drink and you couldn't remember and you're like, man, I don't remember that. What did I do last night?
There's been so many of those.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
The fear is what us and Barnburner used to, and yeah, the fear. Trying to remember what you did last night.
Yeah. Oh, good times though. On occasion.
On occasion.
Good and bad times.
Yep.
Bit of both. Throughout summer just ended.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys play like any festivals?
No, really. The only festival we played this summer would have been that 10-year anniversary Wheelies Festival in Victoria.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it was really good with Bison.
Oh, Bison.
Yeah.
Bison or Bison BC?
Bison BC, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, huge fan of Bison BC. Or Bison, I mean.
Yep.
What made them wanna do you know why they changed their
I guess there must have been some band named Bison.
Yeah? Okay, well that makes sense.
I don't remember. I mean, I must have known at some point why, but I don't remember. Anyway, I guess they had to, like Bush X.
Oh yeah.
Right, like most people call them Bush. Here in Canada, we call them Bush X.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that. Not a huge Bush fan.
Glycerine. We were singing it last night, actually.
Were you?
Yeah.
I like. I think that was, what's it called? 16 Stone.
The album?
Yeah.
I you know what? I actually don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm a 90s kid, but I don't know the name of the album.
Mm.
Because I don't know Bush enough
Mm.
to know the name of the album, but I know Glycerine, obviously.
Yeah.
The hits.
The hit. Yeah.
The hits.
The hits. I want to talk about mental. Okay, I had no idea walking into this that you work in mental health and addiction. So how so? Like is there like a certain like different like sector?
No, I worked in supportive housing.
Okay.
Where you're dealing with, and I worked in safe supply. I worked in and harm reduction. And that all is in conjunction with mental health, right? Like, and substance use and everything. So it's all, it's all encompassing or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and when I was working in supportive housing, you're dealing with folks who are sometimes in recovery, sometimes in active use. I mean, you're meeting people where they're at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, not cool, but you know what I mean.
No, it was. Yeah, and just as someone who has gone through their own stuff in life too, like, I don't know, I didn't do any like schooling or anything like that. I'm just someone who doesn't want to see someone die.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys have 2 albums out?
Yep. No, only one.
What's the bad?
Bad.
What's that fucking song?
Oh, Big Talk.
Yeah, Big Talk. Big Talk.
So Big Talk is a 10th song that we recorded for this 9-song album that we just didn't put on the album. Yeah. It didn't make the cut.
It didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
So I've had a few of those.
So it's a single. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually working on my 2nd album right now.
Sweet.
I'm sort of gathering songs that I recorded from like 3 years ago at like different studios here and there. I'm trying to get the stem files together, try and bring everything together into one place, and then finish it off.
You need a big whiteboard. It's like that Smashing Pumpkins documentary where they have like when they were making Melancholy or whatever that album's called, and it's like they have 3 whiteboards with like so many fucking songs on it. If you have a lot of stuff and you're whittling it down and put it onto an album, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, it'll come in handy one day, right? Fuck yeah. Where did you guys record your album?
We recorded with Jesse Gander at Rain City Studios in Vancouver.
What's the studio?
Rain City.
Rain City.
Yeah.
Rain City. Like what area of Vancouver?
East Van.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna have to get that.
Rad studio. Jesse is the man.
Is he?
Yeah.
Cool. Is he like a multi-instrument? Does he play everything?
Jesse?
Yeah.
Maybe. I think he plays keyboards. I know that. But
oh, okay.
He's got tons of gear in there, and it's an awesome sounding studio. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
Reasonably priced?
I'd assume. Well, I assume so. Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. So yeah, do you know what time this fundraiser upstairs is over?
I didn't even know there was a fundraiser.
Me neither. That's why I walked in and I was like, "Oh fuck, how are we gonna do this?" But we made it past the buffet. We did a pretty good job there.
Yep.
Yeah. We didn't knock anyone over.
I was tempted to steal a tomato slice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys eat?
We did eat earlier in the day. I'm actually super full, so I don't even know why I thought that, but it looked tasty.
If you happen to be passing through Vancouver, BC, please stop by Whiskey 6 Barbecue. Hands down, #1 ribs ever. That's Whiskey 6 Barbecue, located in Vancouver, BC. Be there or be square, baby.
So, how long is your guys' set tonight?
20 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
Of blistering hardcore action.
So you guys, you guys aren't opening the show. You guys are featuring.
We are direct support.
Okay.
Black Thunder is opening up the show.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah.
I reached
the
out
boys
to them.
from Regina.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking good too. I
Yeah.
reached out to them like, God, maybe over a month ago, and they just got back to me 4 p.m. today.
I mean, sometimes depending on what kind of Instagram account you have, if it was on Instagram.
No, I just email. I email everyone.
Oh, okay. No,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, they're sweet.
Because I know sometimes like messages don't go to the right spot or whatever. But anyway.
Yeah. But they're pretty sweet. Have you played with them before?
They played last night too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing like a mini tour?
Just these 2 dates.
Oh, just these two? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But have you played with them like in the past or?
Our old band Barnburner played with them like a bunch in Regina.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long's your band been around for?
For Fearbirds?
Yeah.
Since Vancouver. Since 2022, I think we played our first show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are pretty
new. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Ancients.
Yep.
They're fucking
Sweet.
They've been around.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Would it be your guys' first time playing with them tonight or no?
Well, we played with them last night, but no, I think they played a Barnburner show a long time ago, I believe, maybe. I can't remember completely now, but yeah, they've been around for a while. Sick band.
You're saying you're moving back to Montreal.
I am.
In October?
Yes, end of October. Actually, my other band that I'm in, Severed Arm, based out of the Kootenays, a sludge doom metal band, is playing the show in Nelson with Ancients and Bison.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Fuck. That'll be a gnarly show.
It's gonna be a heavy show, yes.
So like, what's like, what makes you want to go back to Montreal?
That's where I'm from. My parents are older. Just dealing with a big flood that happened in the town I grew up in, and it's also living in. I live in a converted school bus.
Oh,
so a tiny home, which is incredibly hard to do after a while. Really, really taxing on your mental health.
Oh,
and,
fuck yeah, I bet.
We attempted to try to move possibly back to the coast with the current housing situation in everywhere. But in the rest of Canada, where you have to pay first and last month's rent, damage deposit, pet deposit, so on and so forth, was like astronomically expensive to move. And in Quebec, you don't have to pay first and last month's rent. You don't have to pay a damage deposit. You don't have to pay a pet deposit. And we were offered a really good deal on an apartment, and it's just time. My mental health was severely starting to crumble living in Nelson, living rurally. Some people really aspire to live rurally, and then maybe it's more of an idealistic thing for some folks, and some people can do it, but I'm a city rat at heart. I was a bike courier for a decade. I like riding my bike everywhere. Out there, I have to ride my bike on the highway. I have people like honking at me, sideswiping me with their cars, like throwing shit at me. It's like, it's just, it was getting like increasingly hard and expensive to live out there. And yeah, naturally I love the mountains and everything, but it was just time to go home.
Yeah.
As Kevin, and the guitar player in Fearbirds, said, he totally understood, because he used to live in Montreal. That's how we met. And at one point he was like, I have to move back out west. And he did. So he totally understood why I'm moving back out east.
Yeah.
You know, I'll always love it out here, but my home is Montreal. So
mental stability, you got keeping that in check, man. That's fucking important.
Your support networks, even though like I have tons of great friends out here, like end of the day,
you gotta
like,
look after yourself. Yeah.
That's really what it was. And for me and my partner's from Northern Ontario, and from Sudbury, so not too far from Montreal, and her family's getting older as well, and I don't know, the older you get, you kind of realize, like, you go out, you live in other places in the world and stuff, and meet new people, but
It's an experience.
yeah, and as you get older, you realize like, and some people like, might not have connections with their family, and I'm super close with my parents, and my partner's super close with her family, and yeah, like a lot of my best friends are in Montreal, and yeah, home is where the heart is, So
yeah, all roads lead back home.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, that's what happened with me. I mean, I was like on the verge of being homeless. Moved back to Nanaimo.
Are you from here?
Yeah, born and raised.
Yep.
I lived in Vancouver for 8 years.
Yep.
The whole time it was just a fucking chaotic mess.
Yep.
Drugs and bad women and lots of alcohol and going from apartment to apartment, being broke, and then somehow get money, and then the last people in my life who became concerned for my well-being, they noticed right off the bat that I wasn't a normal individual.
Yep.
So yeah, I went to rehab. Friday yesterday was 6 months. Picked up my blue chip.
Nice.
Yeah, super stoked on that. And mental stability. That's actually one of the reasons why I left this treatment center sooner. I guess you would say. I mean, I already did you do 4 months. That's like a first term, and you're on good terms.
Yeah.
You can go if you feel like you're better. And then at the time, I was like, no, I'm gonna stay for a while longer. Fucking work on myself. I've been getting loaded for the last 15 fucking years. I'm only 35 years old.
So you're in for alcohol? Was that your DOC?
My DOC was I guess in the end, booze.
Yeah.
But
to the point of a physical addiction?
Oh yeah, dude, I was addicted to cocaine and meth for quite some time.
Shit.
Yeah.
No, because alcohol, dependency, you die.
Yeah.
If you're not using.
Oh yeah.
Unless you have diazepam or whatever.
Oh yeah, I was. They gave me when I went to detox.
Yeah.
I did the 1 week there at Clearview here in Nanaimo. I had some pretty good meds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I just went. I've detoxed on my own before, and I'm pretty good at doing it. But this time I was I came to the point where I was drinking fucking 2-6 a day.
Yeah. See, I'm lucky. I never had a physical people always ask, oh, did you go to AA? And I was like, no, I just stopped because I wasn't an alcoholic. I was a binge drinker, most people are. When people are, I'm not a binge drinker. It's well, no, if you drink 6 drinks in the same night, you're binge drinking. That you're getting drunk, that's binge drinking. And that's what my thing was. And I would drink 2-3 times a week or whatever. But my problem was blacking out because I have a history of concussion. I was in a band that was in a head-on collision. I actually have a tattoo on my arm of a Leatherman because I cut myself out of my seatbelt. And I had a really bad concussion from that accident. So after that, my brain, I would drink 2 beer and just be blackout.
Ooh.
And I used to play hockey with a neuroscientist, and he was just hey man, how often do you black out? 2-3 times a year? And I was like
every Friday.
It's 2-3 times a week. It's every single time that I drink. And he's you should really stop. So and then I watched that movie Concussion with Will Smith about the Pittsburgh Steelers and all these guys who have crazy CTE and do all sorts of wacky shit, and I was just oh yeah, it's really, I should really not. This is what am I doing? I'm paying to forget because every time I would drink, I would be on autopilot. My friends would be you were fine last night.
Did you fuck up your drumming at all?
Nope. No. I didn't like to play when I would drink 2 beer or whatever before playing, but I didn't really like playing drums drunk. I never liked it.
Okay.
No, the only thing that has ever fucked up my drumming is ketamine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because auditory hallucinations.
Okay.
It's called tracing.
Yeah. Okay.
You see your hands doing one thing and you're hearing another thing. It's very messed up.
I didn't really get into ketamine. I mean,
because you drink. those two do not mix.
No,
Most
they
people
don't.
who are like, I don't like ketamine. I'm like, were you drinking?
I snorted it like a few times, but
Yep.
it wasn't really a thing. I like
I
the
love
8
it.
balls of Coke. Just a
And that
bunch
goes
of
with drinking.
Coke.
Yeah, because you can drink more.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
I think I was just drinking to drink. I don't
Yeah.
know. But no,
I honestly, alcohol is the worst one.
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it's so socially acceptable.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
And I've been in arguments with people about it, but like, booze is the worst one for you physically. So alcohol can get into every single cell of your body, and it takes 7 years. Coincidentally, it's been 7 years that I've drank for a human cell to
rebuild,
like become new again or whatever.
Yeah.
And
rebuild cells.
Yeah. So after you're like, I guess now I have no trace of booze in my body at all, which is kind of cool to know. But yeah,
Well,
and it's the only substance that can get into every part of a cell. Like opioids, cannabinoids, whatever, like they can't get into every single cell, but alcohol can. Yeah, there's a really interesting podcast that I listened to about that.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it right now. My partner sent it to me, but yeah, it was really, really interesting.
If you remember, text it to me.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll look it up in a second. But
yeah, and now that I think about it, booze and
yeah, here, I'll look it over.
I think it's booze and benzos are the only two that you can die from, like, withdrawals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've been around like a lot of opioid users, and they would all be like, yeah, like heroin, it would be like 2-3 days of like, intense withdrawals, but you could make it through. But like booze, like, yeah, you can die. Like I worked a program in Vancouver where there was dudes who you'd have to give them a beer every hour, or else they'd be like, I have to go to the hospital, and then they would come back, they would be drinking like hand sanitizer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got to the hand sanitizer, not that low. Yeah.
Well, that's when it's like a full on like physical dependency, like,
yeah, which is
it's terrifying when you cross into that realm. When to feel normal, you need to use, and that is scary.
There's been at times I felt like that.
Yep, I've been there, and it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I want to find this link.
What platform is it on?
I can't remember. I wonder, was it in a link or was it in? Anyway, I'll find it later.
Well, if you find it, text it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say your top 3 drummers that inspired you?
So this is an interesting question because I feel like people have asked me that before, and like, it depends what era of my life growing up. So like,
okay, say like when you first started playing drums, say mid high school.
Yeah.
And then let's say,
I guess it was really like, I would basically put it this way. It's hard to like name names or whatever, but basically I remember things that stood out to me when I was younger was like the way I would see like a drum, like setups, and I would just be like, like I wonder why. Like when I would see like a weird drum setup, I would be like, whoa, that seems cool. Like, why are they playing like that? And then like I would try things out, and like, so that was kind of something that like shaped maybe a little bit the way that I played, and just like getting comfortable with your kit. But yeah, growing up, I remember like at one point, the drummer from a band, Monine,
Monine, I saw them
Yeah.
back in the day with who the fuck was it? Rise Against, Billy Talent, and Anti-Flag. I think Anti-Flag.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, his style kind of for that era of what I was playing in my life, like that, it was influential. And then the drummer of Cursed, Mike Max, he kind of had a little bit of an influence on my playing for a bit. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really like. There's not. Those are kind of like two that come to mind when I was younger. But now, no, I don't know. I just kind of.
Well, let's say like a more of a newer band. And like
Newer band. I'm so bad with listening to newer music. But honestly, you know what? Like I grew up with my dad showing me like, oh, listen to this. So like he would make me listen to Jimi Hendrix, and I was like, whoa, this guy's crazy because he's a jazz drummer playing to Jimi Hendrix, and like just doing crazy fills the entire time. I kind of call it like rope-a-dope because it's the way they're kind of almost like behind the guitar player or whatever, behind backbeat or whatever. And anyway, yeah, just it's more so. Yeah, I don't know. It's I always have a hard time saying that question because I don't like. I just kind of try and do my own thing. I'm not like really paying. I mean, I watch what people are doing, but I don't know.
I don't really watch, to be honest. If you asked me that question, I would say, well, you know what? I just been writing my own music in like a small little room with like an acoustic guitar for like the last 6 months. And before that, I was just sort of like not paying attention to that sort of stuff because I was actively using. But anyways, no, I just write music.
Nice.
You know, I kind of grew up kind of like the same way that you said. Like my dad showcased like the Doors and AC/DC, and then that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, for me it was like I remember my dad's record collection and like the Yardbirds and Cream and just all sorts of like stuff like that. And yeah, just like I don't know. It's a hard question for me to answer. Yeah.
Anyways, holy fuck! Look at the time. We're gonna end it here.
Sweet.
It was fucking awesome chatting with you. Kind of threw me off with your occupation.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
There, which is no, it's great. I love talking about it.
Yeah.
I'll throw the link to the band's Bandcamp page. Not Facebook. I'm permanently banned. Don't ask. Instagram, whatever.
Yep.
And yeah, again, thanks for doing the show.
Yeah, no problem.
It's gonna be a wicked show tonight.
It is.
Fucking
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to anyone.
Everyone struggling.
Okay. No, I like it. I dig it. Okay, awesome. See you all next time on the East Van Dan Shit Show. Peace.
Woo.
Woo. Go.
Yeah, it was fun.